I do ask them when we go into a room, I say, how do you use this room 90% of the time? And how do you want to use this room 90% of the time? And I honestly think one of the biggest mistakes people make in these situations is they think they need a huge dining table that's way too big for their space for the two days a year that they host.
Right.
So they're always thinking of, if you host every weekend, that's different than if you're hosting a couple times a year with your extended family and they're like, well, I need to have 10 chairs. But if it's two of you most of the time, I say, okay, well, let's get a table this big with this many chairs for 90% of the time. And the 10% of the time, let's come up with a plan. What could you do then in this space over here for the two times where you're hosting a big family? Because people want to set up their home how they have it for such a little part of the time, not like I want a reading chair because I read every day. To me, that's a
Mhm.
priority. Where would be a nice place to read? Or I'm on my computer all the time, or I'm watching TV and I want a really comfortable couch. So all those questions are questions that are super important at the beginning of how you want to set up your home. I've gone into homes as people are doing renos and it's a kind of an empty space. And that's what I ask. What do you want to do in this room? What's important to you? What is your partner doing? What are you doing? Or what are your kids doing? Where are they going to spend time? That guides how you should be setting up, not what you should be doing for, 4 or 5 times a year. And people get stuck on that. It's
Mhm.
amazing how many people get stuck on that. It's very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I never thought of that, but you're right. I do hear that a lot where people want a big, like they want this big, huge dining table and they don't really use it all that much. Like
Right.
realistically, they don't use it.